I just unboxed these two mega grails right here about 10 minutes ago, and man, is my heart pumping. Two incredibly rare and really, really special books to present to you guys today. And these books came from my buddy Alex the Comic Hoarder. He's here on YouTube. If you're not following him, do you even like comics, bro? Go give him a follow. He has some incredible content, a true comic book fan, and we've done some big deals in the past, and this is definitely the biggest deal that we've ever done. He said that it is okay if I share with you guys that he's making some big moves in his personal life, which is why he decided to sell these two books. This is not something that he took lightly. And so I think we'll just kind of leave it at that as to why he sold these books. But it is actually one of the really cool things about this hobby and about having, a lot of equity in these books. If something does come up in your life, our comics can be there for us to bail us out financially. And for the most part, comics are not rare. And if you're patient, you wait long enough, even on the more rare stuff, they do come up again available in the future. And so it's never the end with comics. And if you have to move on to get through a tough spot in life or to meet a personal financial goal or something like that, you can always circle back around later. And that is one thing that I truly love about comics. And especially when you have really high and valuable ones like this, the margins, the hit that you're going to have to take when you sell is going to be less because they're, more liquid, they're easier to move, they're more desirable, et cetera, et cetera. So without further ado, let me just go ahead and show you the first one here because you're all probably saying, shut the heck up and show us the books. First book we have All-Star Comics number 8 in a 2.5. Man, oh man. And look at this copy, 2.5, and it presents beautifully. I mean, there's really nothing about this book that you can say is like that one thing that you would like to upgrade later on. Like, it looks great. I checked the notes, and the biggest thing on this one is this piece out on the back cover. And you know what? It's on the back cover. So unless you're like super OCD and you're like, oh, that bothers me that it's on the back, then I could see maybe you'd want to upgrade it at some point. But it's absolutely, for me, for someone like me and my personal collection, I mean, this would be more than enough for this book. It's incredibly expensive. I paid $58,000 total for the two copies, and I believe this one is somewhere around $30,000 retail value. Maybe the last sale was about $27,000. By the time you're watching this, I'll have it available on the website, and you can go and check what it is. It's going to be available for sale or for trade, but honestly, I would rather trade these books because of how much I have into them. So Alex had a certain number that he needed to get to make this make sense. And that certain number was pretty much 100% of FMV. And I'm like, we might not be able to make this work, but I'll shoot my best shot here. And because I thought, for sure I can't do 100%. As much as I would even be tempted to do that for these books, just for what they are, because the opportunity to buy these does not come up that often. And so I said, well, what about 90% of FMB? And so at 90% of the last sale, it got really close to the number that he needed for his personal financial goal. And at 90%, I think I still have about a $6,000 margin. So if I sell them for full value, I stand to make about $6,000 if I sell them for cash. And I'm not talking about like an inflated full value. I'm talking about a fair price. And these books absolutely will sell for a fair price. So I thought, you know what, let's just offer it for 90%. If that works for him, great. If not, I just can't stretch it any more than that. And he said he can make it work. And that's how I ended up with that book and this book. While I got you guys, let's go over and check out Bry's Comics, because we do have a bunch of other, look at this. I can't let somebody come and look at this. A 9.2 first appearance of the Shocker. Look at this blue full Todd signature on Spawn #1, black and white. I think there's some recent comps of this like way higher than I have it listed there. Look at it, Amazing Spider-Man 3 and a 6.5 first Dr. Octopus. By the time you're watching this, a lot of these may have moved on, but we're constantly getting new inventory. And if you check the big boy books, a lot of them will be available for trade. If you come over here to recently added, you can sort by date, new to old, and see the most recently added stuff. So it kind of clears out the sold out. I try to delete the sold out stuff every couple days. There's another All-Star Comics right there that's available. And then we also have the clearance section. If you come hit the clearance section, you get an automatic 20% off. All you have to do is add the item to the cart and you'll get 20% off BryceComics.com. You guys are never going to guess what this is. You're literally never going to guess what book this is. All-Star Comics number 8 in a 4.0. And man, I mean, it's like if seeing one of them wasn't enough, having and holding 2 of them and owning 2 of these is just, it's the most surreal feeling that I've had in a long time. I mean, I worked out earlier and my heart rate was nowhere near what it is after opening these 2 books and sending a wire for $58,000 for comic books. I mean, I must have checked his name and account number 100 times before I hit send, because it's like $58,000. And, you know, I've only owned this All-Star 8 one other time, I believe. I believe it was a 2.0. I believe I sold it to my friend Gary, and it did the same thing for me. It was like, whoa, this is a different level. Because of all the Golden Age books, when you're talking about Golden Age mega grails, your Action Comics 1, the first appearance of Superman, your Superman 1, your Detective Comics 27, the first appearance of Batman, your Batman 1, they're in such a different stratosphere. I mean, we're talking hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars, the most expensive comics in the world. They're mega grails on a different level from the Golden Age. And then there's All-Star Comics 8, the first appearance of Wonder Woman and origin of Wonder Woman. And she is absolutely a mega grail for the Golden Age, but she's in a different stratosphere price-wise. So it's just really special and really cool. Like, it's an actual achievable goal for a Golden Age collector, and the most achievable Golden Age grail in my opinion. So let's hop over here to GPA and just take a look and see how often have these sold in a 4.0 or below. Let's not even look at above a 4.0, because then you're talking about 60 to, I mean, I think the record-breaking sale was the single highest graded in a 9.4, sold for $1.5 million. So let's not even look up there. Let's look at a 4.0 and below. The 4.0, the last sale was in September of 2024 for $38,400. And before that, in 2022, it was $55,000. In 2021, it was $42,000 and $43,000. So as you can see here, I mean, usually it sells like once a year, except here in 2012 to 2016, it went 4 years without selling. It had 4 sales in 2020, which is very interesting. 2017 is the record breaking in almost all the grades that I've looked at. 2017 has the high prices. And that must have been when like the first Wonder Woman movie came out or something like that, or something in pop culture, because in most grades, 2017 had these crazy highs. So to think that you can get something today in 2025 for less than it was in 2017. Here you can see the 3.5 also sold in 2017 for $55,000. The 3.5 sold this year for $31,000. A 3.0 sold, last time it sold was 2023, no recent sales. 2.5, last time it sold was in 2023. No sales in the last 2 years for that. And you go down to the 2.0, the last sale was in 2020, 5 years ago, 7 years ago for the 1.8. So as you can see, I mean, this 2.5 is truly a rare opportunity to get it at a fair price, because you're getting it from me. You know, I'm not going to put it at 20, 30% more than it's worth. I just don't do that. It's just not my style. And I absolutely could list this at 20, 30% over and just be like, all right, go find another copy if you want one. But no, I'm not going to do that. It's all about a fair price. So it's a rare opportunity to get this at a fair price, or even better, to trade. You know, to trade some. I'm going to have to hold out for some really good books for this. It's going to have to be high value, you know, silver or golden age keys, or copper or modern keys as well. But they're going to have to be high value. I'm not going to do, you know, 30 slabs or 200 slabs or something. I like to keep it, you know, a small number of desirable keys to trade for this one. Thank you so much to Alex for entrusting me and letting me, you know, work with you on these 2 deals that we've done. It's been incredibly awesome. Thank you to you guys for, you know, sharing with me and the incredible emotional roller coaster that this hobby is, but in particular, this massive deal going through it with me basically in real time. I appreciate you guys. I can't wait to see who's going to be the proud new owner of these 2 books. I hope whoever does get it can truly appreciate them for what they are, the rarities and incredibly important pieces of pop culture history. Thanks as always for sticking with me to the end of the video. We'll catch you in the next one. Bye.